I'm from Chennai, and when I sat down in the cab today morning to take my flight out to Hyderabad, I was running again and again in my mind as to what it is that I felt when I was your age. Few things that came to my mind. First thing, I was a very obnoxious would be a very subtle word to say to describe myself. I was very obnoxious. I didn't know what to say when. I made bloopers all the time. I would get onto the dais on my school and I would freeze. I didn't know what to talk. There was this one instance. I think I was about, say, 12, 13-ish. There was this one person who used to come home very often. Not a very favorite person from my side. I hated her. I detested her. She called me. And I picked up the phone. My mom was in the kitchen. And I picked up and she said, hello, is your mother there? I said, yes, she's in the kitchen. And she said, can I talk to her? I said, yes. And then I called out to my mom from the phone, from where my phone was. And I said, Amma, you've got a call. And she was like, who's it? I didn't know what to say. So I thought in my head that if I was going to signal and say this lady, she would understand. In my head, I was telling myself, I'm going to say this lady. And I said out loud and clear, you know that lady who's fat, who comes home all the time? It's that person. And my mom came, she whacked me on my head. And she was like, what are you saying? I said, what? You said, just said it out loud. I said, did I? I didn't know. And then my dad comes in. There's a series of complaints that go to my dad. You know, your daughter, she did this, she ruined it. I know this person said very mean things to me on the phone. I was like, yeah. You know, this is what mommies say all the time. They're forever criticizing us. I grew up in a family where my mom and my dad were very particular about the words, the language that we used. My mom always said, speak a language the way it is supposed to be spoken. My dad, a very dramatic person who could make you see the word pressure. I did a mistake once. My science textbook had a certain chapter to be covered. I didn't know what to do. My dad was free. I thought, all right, let me go sit with my dad for once. Let me see if he's going to help me study. And I said, Dad, explain this. And he went on, and the word came pressure. And he exerted so much pressure in body language that it still remains in my mind. As a child, when my parents came and told me communication is very important, ensure that you build on a communication, I found it a very, very tedious ritual to listen to. But today, when I look back and I see why my parents said what they said, I realize that the knowledge that they were trying to impart or inculcate into me, which I found tedious then, has actually become a boon now. I'm one of those people who would get onto a dais and tell people, you know what, you need to give me my time. Which again, for the TED organizers, please ensure I go overboard when I find a mic. I don't want to put it down, right? So when I cross my 15 minutes, just give me a heads up, right? Then I told myself, okay, now communication, people talk. What is communication all about? Then came a lot of answers. Communication, talk the right way, tell people what you have on your mind. People should understand what is running in your mind. These are a few things that the dictionary would give you out meanings for. In real, the most important thing as youth, if you would want to empower yourself, personal development is what is going to empower you. You will have to ensure that within yourself, you inculcate that desire, the zeal and the zest that says, I am going to achieve something. How are you going to achieve if you are not going to be able to communicate what you have in your mind? Communication is very important, and so is body language. If I were to walk onto the dais with my shoulders slumped down and I said, "Good evening," how would you have felt? Dull? Just the way all of you are sitting right now? Yeah? Try sitting up straight. All the kids, put your spine back, sit straight, put on a broad smile on your face. All of you. And try saying, "I'm dull." You can never do that. Try it. Sit straight. Give me the brightest smiles, guys. This place needs bright smiles. Brighter and broader. Let me see a lot of teeth. You look very pretty when you smile. I think you should smile broader. The lady in the front with the glasses on. It's you. Bright. Smile brighter. And try saying, "I feel dull." Can you do it? One volunteer who would do that. One of you? Come on. Come on, come here. Faster, faster. You're going to eat up on my 15 minutes. And what's your name, lady? Amansa. Try doing that. Stand straight, face them, give a big, bright smile, and say, "I'm dull."
I'm dull.
Try frowning. Do it again, frown.
I'm dull.
How does that sound? That's the thank you so much. You were a sport. That's the importance of communication, and that's the importance of your body language, and that is how you're going to empower your personality to ensure that you grow up to achieve something in your life. When I started working, the first job I had, I was surrounded by people who were much older than me. There are two ways of looking at people who are older than you. One, you can say, "Oh my God, do I have to face them?" Second, you can say, "Oh my God, when am I going to be like them?" And that is the attitude that is going to take you forward in life. Right? Am I missing a beat? Are you all on the same page? Don't just nod. I want to hear some voices. Are you all on the same page? Louder. Super. I hear a little less. Okay? So you guys have to be much louder so that I know that you're all listening to me. Right? And are you all going to continue smiling? Very nice. Now that's nice and cheerful and bright. There was this when I started to write, we had a creative writing section in my school. I remember my teacher, Mrs. Millie Amen. She was a Chinese lady, and for a Chinese lady, trust me, she was the tallest. She was taller than me. And I had never come across a Chinese woman who was that tall. She had the aura of charm around her that she would walk into the room and I would smile. She came up and told me, "You know what, we are going to have a creative writing section and I want you to write." I said, "Fine. What are we going to write about?" Then she gave us a topic, a random topic. It's many years ago, so I don't remember the topic now, but then I remember the happenings that took place after that. She said, "Write a small poem on anything that comes to your mind." And I started off writing. I started thinking of all the nice big jargon words, musings, dryads, bewitched, bewildered, all the big words that I felt were going to give me extra points. But you know what happened? What do you think happened? What do you think happened? No guesses? I flunked really bad. You know why? Nobody understood what I was trying to say. That's what it does. Nobody understood what I tried to say. And then she came up to me and said, "You know what, Sushana? Why don't you try putting them into simpler, smaller, crisper words? And I was like, now, poetry, it's supposed to be big words. It's supposed to be jargons. It's supposed to be words that sound lovely. How am I supposed to compress it into crisp, small, tiny words? And then she said, try. Try doing it. Try giving it smaller, crisper words. And I said, fine. And I tried. It was bad. The poem that I wrote was horrible. I couldn't read it myself. I don't know how my teacher had the patience to read it, but then I couldn't read it. I hated it. But then I tried. And then came the third most important, what should I say, ray of light in my mind. The way they say enlightenment. Yeah? Enlightenment, does that sound very niche, very big jargon word again? But then I did get enlightened. I heard myself saying, okay, I talk too much. Do I talk too much? No, not yet. You're not bored yet? All right. So then they said, you know what? I talk too much and I need to crisp words. I need to use crisper words. I need to fine-tune what I'm talking. So that is when the communication part of it started coming in. When you have communication and the right body language, the posture, no matter how negative you're surrounded with, you end up giving people positivity around you. It's like walking into a gray room wearing a nice bright yellow dress. How would that look? How would that look? Imagine a very, very gray room, dark room, and you're walking in with a bright, lovely, bright yellow dress. Looks nice? No? It wouldn't look nice? Would it look bright? Yes? Would it look brighter if the room was gray and you walked in with a yellow dress? Or the room was gray, you walk in with a yellow dress, and as you're walking in, there's a spotlight falling on you. When does it look brighter? That's what communication is all about. It draws attention to you. It empowers you from inside to say, yes, I can do it. Yes, I know I will do it. That's what your body language says. All of you people over here, all you youngsters will one day grow up to become either entrepreneurs. Yeah? All of you. People would want to become entrepreneurs. People would want to get placed very high in very big MNCs. Yes? Right? What you need then is composure. What you need then is the confidence. And how will you build that confidence in you if you're not going to have your communication in place? Right? Right? So, am I up by 15 minutes yet? No? I can still talk? Okay, lovely. This would be the only dice that I said I can talk more. Right? Okay. Now, the second thing. When you talk, how many of you get yelled at by your teachers over here? Don't worry, you're not going to say anything. You can raise your hands up. Very nice. All of us, right? I got yelled at too. Come on, my teachers called me all sorts of names. Right? But then, oh look, the boys at the back, do you get yelled at a little too long? They had their hands up waving for a very long time. Yes, ma'am, I see you nod. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. When we get yelled at by our teachers, it's a very nice feeling. Trust me. Both for the teachers and for the students. You know why? Because we know the teachers care. Correct? We know that the teachers care. And we know that the students are going to turn back and say, yeah, what the hell, man? She yells at me all the time. And we're going to come back and do the same thing either ways. Right? That gives a smile on her face. Ma'am, all these kids are smiling. You should probably have a talk with them tomorrow. So, where was I? I forgot what I was talking about. What was it talking about? Sorry? Sorry? That was then. I thought I stopped talking about communication. What was it talking about now? Teachers yelling at you? What was it talking in between? What was it talking in between? queen. Body language, very true. Come over. Come on to the dice. Okay, how many of us have siblings here? Time up? Okay, I'm going to do the last experiment. Yeah? Do you have a sibling? Do you try asking your sibling to do something for you? Get a glass of water? Is that a younger brother, older brother? Brother? Okay. How do you ask your brother to do something for you? Oh, come on. Really? I don't believe that. I never did that. Is that what you say? Do you believe that? I don't believe this. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you say that?
Could you please fetch me a glass of water?
Is his sibling here in the school? Is he like that? See, they're all saying you're not.
No, I am.
Did I just start that?
No.
No?
I'm actually like that. You see, people don't like accepting what's the truth.
People don't like accepting what's the truth. Now look at that. Now we have a very nice, charming young man over here. What's your name? Vinay. Vinay over here says that he's very nice, very polite, and you have an entire group of friends over there who say that you're not. I'm just pulling your leg. Okay, now the reason why I called him over was because he used up the example that I was going to talk about. Please get me a glass of water. Can you say that?
Hey, why don't you get me a glass of water?
You don't say that when you're angry. I don't say that when I'm angry. When I look at my brother and I tell him, I need something, I said, go get it for me. That's what I say. Right? And if I were to fine tune it a little bit more, I would look at him and say, Ore vel neel tech petra. That's what I say. I don't say, Koncho naku neelu techi pedtava. That's not what I say. Come on, don't lie, Vinay. Go back. Thank you so much. You've all been a lovely audience. Thank you for the opportunity once again.